What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of HermitPack on the HermitCraft server. Oh yeah, guys. So, last few episodes, we've been working towards getting ourselves a better power supply. First, we were trying to blaze. We were trying to get blaze to make additional blaze rods to power the spawner. And yeah, give us additional blaze rods, and that didn't really work out. So then we were looking at other power supply methods. We were using biofuel for a while, and this is doing all right. It's not producing a whole lot of power, 280 RF per tick per biogenerator, which works okay. But then we discovered that we can take that biofuel, mix it with a little bit of hydrogen and some water, and then we get something called ethylene, which is producing way more power. So last episode, we started working on that. We made the gas burning engine over here. And yeah, we're powering stuff off this ethylene. This is making over 5,000 RF per tick. In fact, I think it said 5180 is how much that was making, but it turns out that these enhanced energy conduits right here, that's the maximum transfer rate of these cables. So that's why it only looked like we were making 5,000. People in the comments have pointed out that this actually will produce around 8,000 or more RF per tick, which is even better. That's awesome. So yeah, we're trying to move towards this gas burning generator. So like I said, in order to do that, we need to get water and the electrolytic separators. So we separate out hydrogen and oxygen. We take the hydrogen, mix that with water, with some biofuel, and then we get the ethylene. Yeah, and then the ethylene we just have storing up in this basic gas tank for now. So we have like 64 buckets of the stuff, plus whatever's in this pipe, plus another 18 buckets worth in this gas burning generator. Is that even the unit? Can you have a bucket of gas? I'm not really sure. Anyway, so this is working out pretty well. This is the system that I want to go to. The only problem is we're waiting on wheat to grow, and we can't wait on wheat to grow because wheat grows really, really slowly. So now we got to figure out a way to speed up the growth rate of wheat. So there's a few different ways to do that in this mod pack, and I would like to try and put them all together into one spot and see just how fast we can grow wheat, because I think that's going to sound awesome, right? Okay, so one of the first things we can do, we can replace the soil that we are planting our crops on. There is soil called, I think, fertilized. I don't know how to spell it. This stuff right here, fertilized dirt. That's what it is. So that is rotten flesh plus bone meal plus a piece of dirt. Gives us 2 pieces of fertilized dirt. And how big is this? Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? So we need 49 of them. Okay, that's not so bad. So we need 49 pieces of fertilized dirt. Let's go ahead and make that. The screen changed. There it is, fertilized dirt. No, we'll do a stack. That's fine. Doesn't matter. We have plenty of all of this stuff. So like I said, doesn't matter. So we got the fertilized dirt under control. There is the lily pads of fertility. Yeah, this is a little bit more of an involved process because you have to have this fertile essence, which requires the catalyzing gland, which I think comes from ghasts and creepers. I think I got one off of ghast earlier, actually. Yeah, so ghast and creepers. Okay, so it comes off those. We need rib bones, which comes from skeletons. It's the only place it comes from, it looks like. Green dye, cactus smelted, right? And then slime pearls from green slimes. We got plenty of those. So we should be able to make these, except we're missing something. What are we missing? Oh, the green dye. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I don't think we really use green dye for too much around here. Okay, do we have cactus? No, we don't have cactus. We don't have green dye. Is there a way to make cactus in this mod pack? We can do that if we had UU matter. We can get 48 cactus from that. I don't think we're going to be doing it that way. So we need a... Oh, we can start Botania. Slime ball in here gives us a cactus. We have plenty of slime balls. Are we going to be able to do this? You know, that's kind of basic Botania stuff. We might do that. Is there another way? No. Well, it's either go off, find a desert, and get a whole bunch of cactus, or start at Botania and do this. So we might do that. Okay. So another thing that we can do, yeah, there's these worms that we're gonna want. Worms can also randomly give bone meal effects to the surrounding crops. I believe they work in a 3x3 area, with them being in the center, or maybe it's a 2x2. I don't know. Anyway, the worms are pretty good. So we have 5 of those. We're gonna need a bit more than 5. Now, apparently you get these from tilling soil. I've gotten some worms so far. I don't remember how I got them, but apparently maybe just from tilling soil. So let's just try that real quick and see if we can get ourselves another worm. Is there a way that you can till more soil at once than using a hoe? Oh, there's a worm. Cool. So now we got one. All right. So maybe I'll just go ahead and just destroy like all of our grass or something like that. I think we can repair the grass just with the torturino. That'll make it, the tilled soil turn back to the dirt, and then the grass will spread like instantly. So that's not really that big of a deal. So we've gotten 11 of them. I don't really know how many of these we need. Well, it seems like we're getting them sometimes. It looks like it's pretty just random. Okay. Well, anyway, we see how to get that. So there's the worms. Now, I've also heard that there's like a glass, like a greenhouse glass. Yeah, there's a greenhouse glass that we can also put above the crops. Oh, this is the actually additions thing. Empowered Palace Crystal Block, which is those. Prismarine, Cyan, and a Palace Crystal Block, which is Lapis in the laser. Okay. So we're going to need some Prismarine. Now, luckily for us, the Guardians, yeah, whatever those, the little fishies, whatever they're called, I think they're just called Guardians, right? Those spawn pretty much anywhere in the water. So if you fly around, swim out in the water, or whatever, you should be able to find them. I've seen them around before, and of course, now that we need one, or we're looking for them, they're nowhere to be found. They do appear on the mini map, though. Yeah, I'm just not seeing them. Okay, well, I tell you guys what, let me get a few more of these things together. I'm going to replace the dirt where our wheat is with the fertilized soil. We will put the worms down, and then I'll also try and get some of that greenhouse glass. I really don't know. I don't know. Do we need like 1 block per crop to be harvested? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Does the whole thing have to be enclosed in like a box for it to work? These are things we'll find out. Anyway, guys, let me get to it and we'll be right back. All right, guys. Well, I went ahead and replaced the dirt that the wheat was growing on. Yeah, this is all the fertile dirt now. So you can see as we're looking at this, there's random green particle effects that happen every now and then. Well, now that I said that, they're not happening. Of course they're not. But yeah, it happens every once in a while. You'll see like the little green sparklies like right over there. Now we got a few of them. Yeah, that is the fertile dirt that's doing that. It just does a random, well, it looks like the bone meal particle effects, but it's like, you know, a random one growth stage kind of a thing, right? The worms also do that. So I have worms like every so often. I believe they handle a 3x3 area, so I started out with the corners and we kind of had to put them in between. So it turns out we ended up having like 8 of them in this area. So yeah, we got 8 of those worms. They're all doing their thing down there. But as you can see, the blocks that the worms are on actually are not growing as fast as the other ones, right? That seems kind of weird. Well, you can't place the worms on the fertile soil. So yeah, I had to replace this block with regular dirt, till it, place the worm, then place down the seed. But the other ones are still growing much faster. So it might be a thing where the worms just, they're not even worth it. The other ones just seem to be growing way faster. This corner over here doesn't seem to be growing as fast for some reason. I'm not sure why, but yeah, definitely those 8 blocks the worms are on are going slower. Well, some of them have already matured, but the other ones that they're on definitely are going slower. So we probably will swap out the worms and just not use those. I guess that'd be cool, like if that was the only thing you had and there was no other way to grow the plants, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna need those. So anyway, the fertile dirt works pretty good. Very happy with that. I started going around looking for the Guardians and I found one, I killed and I was like, this is gonna be a pain. So I ended up going back to the base, getting a soul vial, capturing one, and doing like we do and making a powered spawner out of it. Yeah, so I just got done spawning in a few of them. Also made an experience obelisk because it required like 16 levels of experience to combine the broken spawner with the powered spawner. And I didn't want to waste like the higher levels. So anyway, I dumped those all into an experience obelisk over here. Instead of making the solidified experience, I think this is just easier. So I dumped them all in there, grabbed 16 levels out, and then we combined it. So we now have an experience obelisk, which is kind of cool. But anyway, yeah, over here I put our guardian spawner. So yeah, does it say on the tooltip? It doesn't say what this thing even spawns anywhere on it, does it? Well, that's kind of unfortunate. If I hold shift, no, it still doesn't say anything. It does say the range, which is kind of cool, 9x3x9. Anyway, so I put in a double layer capacitor in here. We can turn this thing on, active without signal, but these guys are a little scary. I'm going to turn this back off as soon as it spawns the next one. Oh, you know what? It spawned the first set of them a lot faster than this. I'm not sure why it's going so slowly now. But anyway, it spawned like 4 of them, and those guys with their laser beams, yeah, they're a little scary. If you're not taking care of it real fast, they will do some damage. I think they do like 3 hit points per. All right, I gotta go. You gotta get out of here. Break the beam. Yeah, I think you can run into them to make them stop their laser beam charge up phase or whatever. Poking them also does a little bit of damage to you because they have the spikes. Yeah, they're just not great to kind of spawn like this. We'd really want to get them in some kind of like a spawn room, like where our bleeds are. That might be an interesting thing. If we spawn them in here, they'll just kind of get pushed over onto the spikes, and I think that will be a good way to get rid of them. So we might look at doing that here sometime soon. I do believe I have enough prismarine right now. Yeah, let me get this guy. I think I do have enough prismarine right now to do what we needed to do with that lapis block. Come here, guy. Come here. And these guys are so like squirmy. There we go. So yeah, I took 4 lapis blocks and I put them in the laser. So now we got the palace crystal block. We also needed cyan dye. I'm not sure how we're gonna get this. So we need like green colored honey, green dye. Oh, floral green powder, perfect. We can use green flowers from Botania to mix with lapis. Yeah, because we don't have any regular green dye at this point in time. So anyway, the way this is gonna work is we're gonna have to use our infusion altar over here one more time. We'll put 3 of those on here, and then we need 1 piece of cyan, and that'll convert this block to what we need it. But anyway, let me go ahead and get to that. I'll try and find some of the green. Yeah, we don't have any green flowers. I'll just fly around, see if we can find some green Botania flowers. We'll use that for the time being. Yeah, let me get to it and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys. Well, I went around and I did find some of the green Botania flowers. I was able to make the cyan dye like we were trying to do. And yeah, I made enough of this glass to cover the entire field. Now, I was thinking we should just cover it all up. Whoa, actually, I left some on the ground here. I was thinking we should just cover the whole thing and see like how much faster it is, but you can't really tell how much faster it is if everything is going at the same speed, right? So I just kind of put it over like half of the field. Let's go ahead and turn on our harvester here. Or I guess our farming station. We'll go ahead and harvest up all of the wheat. It'll get replanted here in just a second. There it is. Okay, fully replanted. I am curious to see, let's see, hold on. Active with signal. Okay, so that's not active. I am curious to see like how much faster this side goes with the greenhouse glass compared to the other side that doesn't have it. Even though we have the worms in there and we have the fertile soil, yeah, I'm very interested in seeing like this one right here. That one just got a whole bunch of bone meal effects really quickly, right? Again, I think the worms are going a little bit slower, so we might look at getting rid of those. I haven't fully decided yet, but anyway, let's go ahead and let this test run for a little bit. See like how long it takes for this to go, or where the other side is when this side is fully grown. Well, the side with the greenhouse glass isn't fully grown in just yet, but you can definitely see there is a huge difference between the growth state on this side as compared to this side over here. Like this one doesn't even look like it's gotten a single, yeah, it says growth 0%. That one still hasn't gotten a single one, and all these other ones are pretty close to being mature. A lot of them are mature, a lot of them are like 70% or higher. So yeah, definitely the greenhouse glass does a lot for them. So we'll go ahead and cover the rest of the farm with this stuff. I just have to leave the one spot in the center open. I do believe I had enough glass to cover the entire farm. Yeah. Anyway, so the other thing that we can do to get this to go a little bit faster, which I don't know if we need to go faster or not right now, but another thing that we can do, oh, it looks like I lost a piece of glass, would be to get ourselves the lily pads of fertility. So that's another thing that we're going to be looking at. Now, we saw this earlier that we were going to do this, but we needed cactus green dye. And unfortunately, we don't have the cactus. So I think we're going to jump into a little bit of Botania here. So I've done Botania a few times on camera over the last few series, and I don't think there's anything significantly changed with the mod right now. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go ahead and start the basics stuff up. We need to get ourselves the pure white daisy, which will convert stone into the living rock. Yeah, and then from the living rock, we can make our mana pools and all those other kinds of things. Do we have the white? Yeah, we have some of these mystical white flowers. So we just need to make ourselves the petal apothecary. This thing right here, which is just some cobblestone slabs and cobblestone. Yeah, I don't even think we have that. So it's pretty simple to do. Just go ahead and do it real quick. Petal apothecary. We'll set it here. That's not where it's going to go permanently. We just need to do that. Drop in. Oh, I thought hold on a second. Did I put some of those away? Oh, one of those got used for making the petal apothecary, didn't it? Ah, dang, that was a mistake. Yeah, because you need 4 of those to make the pure white daisy, I believe. So now you got to use another one of our white flowers. Yeah, you need 4 of those. Ah, that was a mistake. But we can still make one of them, so it's not that big of a deal. And I think we can make some kind of a bone meal, like a floral fertilizer, I think is what it's called, that you can spam on grass and it'll make those flowers for you. So that won't be a huge issue. We also need seeds, like so. Yeah, we can just drop those right into this thing. And there we go. There's our pure daisy. So all we gotta do is just stick that on the ground, put some regular smelted stone. Right around there, we'll get the living rock that we need to make the mana pools, and then we can continue on with a little bit of botania. So let me get to it, guys, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, well, we got a very, very basic, simple botania system set up. Yeah, so we got a mana pool. We made this thing from the living rock that we got from the pure daisies. We have 4 endoflames. Yep, these guys are just using any furnace burnable material. Currently, I'm using blocks of coal because we have a lot of coal in our system. So I figured, why not? Blaze rods, I believe the blaze rod lamps or whatever, they're like blaze rod blocks, are pretty much the best you can use it with these. But yeah, we have a lot of coal, so I just went with that. And then I also made myself a mana spreader up here. This guy is just dumping his mana into the mana pool. Yeah, the endoflames take furnace burnable material like those blocks of coal. They make mana. They send the mana to the spreader sends it to the pool. So this is where we're collecting our stuff right now. You can see we have not very much, about 1/8 of a mana pool collected. So we needed to make ourselves the alchemy catalyst, I believe. Let's look up cactus. We'll go this route just to look at it. All right, so over here, we need the alchemy catalyst plus a slime ball in the mana pool, which makes this. We have to make this block and stick it underneath the mana pool in order for this recipe to work. So the alchemy catalyst is made with 2 brewing stands, a mana pearl, 2 gold ingots, and 4 living rock. So we have everything ready to go except for the mana pearl. So we'll go ahead and drop an ender pearl into the mana pool, and that'll make ourselves the mana pearl. Let me put the other blocks of coal down here so we make a little bit more mana. There we go. All right, so we got that all cooking up. So now we should be able to do the alchemy catalyst. Let me go and click on this. Do one of those, and there we are. Alchemy catalyst, nice. So we'll grab some slime balls. Glime, how about slime? Some slime balls. I don't know, half a stack? That might be more than what we need, but we'll just grab half a stack anyway. I mean, we can always grow the cactus, right? So we don't need a whole lot of it, but might as well just do it since we have the mana ready to go now. So we stick that guy right there. And 32 slime balls. There we go, 32 cactus. They use a little bit of the mana. If we right click on this with the wand of the forest, we can see that it used up about half of what we already have. So now we got about 1/16 of a mana pool remaining. Anyway, so now we have the cactus that we needed, so we can make that cactus green dye. Pretty cool. Auto cactus farm, anyone? Yeah, so cactus on sand with a block next to it like the vanilla farms with the help of our Torturino friend right here. Yeah, so we can speed up an automatic cactus farm pretty quickly. I don't really need a whole lot of this stuff, but I just wanted to get a little bit extra. So when we melt down our cactus into the cactus green dye, we have a little bit left over. Yeah, that makes this a lot faster. All right, so now that we got the cactus green dye, we're able to make the items here, the fertile essence. We're able to make 9 of those, so we can make 3 of these lily pads. Unfortunately, we don't have any lily pads, but fortunately, vines with the alchemy catalyst in the mana pool do turn into lily pads. So there we go. Yeah, so Botania has a lot of great uses like that. All right, so we can put those away. We can do one of these numbers, and there is 3 lily pads of fertility. Awesome. Okay, so now that we have those, I want to kind of see how much faster those improve our farm over what we already have. Now, I just harvested this a minute ago. I'll probably wait till these completely fill up and then we'll do the test again. But for right now, let's go ahead and put down, I guess, yeah, we'll put them right here. I think that'll be just fine. Let me grab another bucket of water. Wait, did I not put a bucket of water down? Okay, maybe I never grabbed that bucket of water from our reservoirs earlier. I thought we did. What am I caught on now? I'm caught on something. Okay, so there we go. Here's the lily pad of fertility. Boop, boop, boop. So these are supposed to increase the growth rate of plants within a certain radius. I don't know how big that radius is. If it's like 5 blocks away or 3 blocks away, but I think they do stack, or at least they used to. At least in a long time ago when I used these in, what was it, FTB Monster? Yeah, if you put a bunch of these nearby the magical crops, you could have a crazy fast farm. Obviously, they've been nerfed a little bit. I don't know how much. But anyway, let's let everything grow. We'll clear it all out, and then we'll do another test and see how much faster things grow with these lily pads of fertility nearby. All right, guys, well, let everything grow up. I used the Torturino, sped the whole process up, let everything grow up. I harvested it using the harvester, and then this is the result that we got now with the 3 lily pads of fertility on this side. Yeah, we got the glass over everything except for this back block back here because I lost a piece of glass, I guess. But it does look like this side has more fully grown crops than the other side, I guess. If I had to guess as well, I would say that the lily pad does a 9x9 area because it does like 4 blocks away from itself. Well, at least that's what it looks like anyway. I could be wrong. It's really not that big of a deal, to be honest. I think just having the greenhouse glass, yeah, and the fertile soil down there is probably all we really need to do in order to speed this up to some kind of a speed where we could just leave this thing going, have it power itself, yeah, and, you know, keep the rest of our base powered. We can also make the farm bigger too, so that's another thing to consider. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. Like, this is... it's very quick compared to what we had before to have everything regrow for our, our farming station here. This is really, really good. Let's let it replant everything once again. And I think that's all the seeds. So never active. Yeah, so until we swap this thing out and we have our gas burning generators out here, I really don't want that running and wasting our biofuel. I mean, it's fine to keep things running over here, but yeah, I really don't want to waste our biofuel leaving this thing idle all the time until we get the better fuel set up out here. But yeah, I mean, just the way it's set up right now, like, you can see the plants growing pretty quickly. If we go too big, we'll have a lot of block updates nearby, and it'll be like the problem that I've had before where you do like the huge AgriCraft areas and then base just starts getting laggy because of all the block updates. So I don't know how much faster I really want this to go, but I do want to go fast enough that it's going to provide enough biofuel for us to power our base until we decide to upgrade to something different later on. But yeah, I like this a lot. Maybe the lily pads aren't that useful. We could just do 4 of those and have 1 on each of the cardinal sides, 1 on each side or whatever, right in the center. That could help speed things up. I don't know. So anyway, guys, I think we pretty much reached the end of the episode for today. I've had a lot of fun messing around with all the different ways of speeding up these crops to grow. There might even be yet more ways of doing it aside from the Torturino. But one thing that you should see, if you haven't seen this yet, we just set this to a 3x3 and just like increase the speed there. Yeah, look at all those particles, because this is the fertile soil or whatever. Every time it gets a tick update or a block update or whatever, it makes one of those particle effects. So yeah, with the Torturino on there, it just goes a little bit crazy. If you do it to the entire crop field, like, you really start lagging the game. That's just client-side lag, I'm pretty sure, but oof, that hurts the frame rate. It's kind of a neat little thing, but like I said, I really don't want to have to rely on the Torturino. I don't mind using it for certain things to show examples or speed up slight processes or whatever, but I really don't want to have those all over the place for our day-to-day stuff. I'd rather use other mods and other ways of speeding up our crop growing and all of these kinds of things. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, leave a like on the episode if you liked it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know, is there a faster or another way to speed up our crop growth here? I'm very interested in knowing if there's other ways to do it. But anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.